Hello aspirants, welcome to Mission IAS Academy. Let's see about Indian Council Agriculture Research, the rest portions of Indian Yearbook 2020. ICAR is a full form, short form of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. The first point is it is an autonomous organization, and the second point is it comes under Department of Agricultural Research and Education. So ICAR comes under DARE. It is formerly known as Imperial Council of Agricultural Research, that is the old name, and the word Indian is different. Okay, established on July 16th, 1929 under the Society's Registration Act 1860. It's headquartered at New Delhi, and also the ICAR is the apex body for coordinating, guiding and managing research and education in the agriculture. So it helps to guide, manage for research and education relating to agriculture. That is, agriculture means it includes horticulture, fisheries and animal science. And 101 ICAR institutes and 71 agriculture universities spread across the country. This is one of the largest national agricultural systems in the world. And its important role in ushering green revolution and subsequent development in agriculture in India. Next point is this is the important point so far. Next is soil and water productivity. The National Bureau of Soil Survey and Land Use Planning developed NBSS and Bhumi geoportal to access various thematic information on major physiographic regions, sub-physiographic regions, agroecological regions, and that is 1992, and agroecological regions 2015, and agroecological subregions of the country. So, NBSS, that is National Bureau of Soil Survey, and LUP, Land Use Planning. So the name itself says that it is the Bhumi means land, right? So it's all about regions, land, soil, and you can connect it with those terms. And then the thematic information is mainly focusing on physiographic regions, sub-physiographic regions of 1992, 2015, and agroecological subregions of the country. Next, the NBSS and LUP developed an Android-based mobile application on GIS platform to facilitate web-based decision support system, that is DSS, for land use planning and dissemination of soil health cards information at village and farm level for Gujarat. NBSS introduced an Android application. It helps to find out, or it is based on the support system, decision support system, web-based decision support system. It is mainly for land use planning and soil health card and dissemination GMAD term. It's all about to get the information at village and farm level for Gujarat. And also the app will display the details of soil map unit information and suggested land use plan for that survey number. Next is genetic resources. Major explorations were undertaken and 1532 germplasm accession were collected, comprising 1095 of cultivated plants and 437 wild accessions. The explorations were undertaken two each in Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and one each in Andaman Nicobar Island, Arunachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Nagaland, Odisha, Tripura, Uttarakhand. Then the upcoming sentence is important. The population of Momordica cochinchinensis collected from the Middle Andaman Island. So, where the population of Momordica cochinchinensis is collecting. So, the answer is Andaman Island, and also was described as a new subspecies of Momordica cochinchinensis, subspecies Andamanica. So it was subsequently validated through DNA barcoding. And next is crop improvement. Major emphasis was to develop new varieties or hybrids tolerant to various biotic and abiotic stresses with enhanced quality. 209 varieties were developed, 117 high-yielding varieties or hybrids of cereals comprising 65 of rice and 14 of wheat, 24 of maize, 5 of finger millet, 3 of pearl millet, 1 each of sorghum barley, foxtail millet, kodo millet, little millet and proso millet, and released for cultivation in different agroecological regions of the country. These are not much important, so you just read it out and pass it on. And 28 high yielding varieties of oil seeds, 32 of pulses, 24 of commercial crops, that is cotton, sugarcane and jute, and 8 of forage crops were released for cultivation in different agroecologies. Next is livestock. Here the improvement of indigenous cattle breeds through selection project was conceptualized for the genetic improvement of Gir, Gangraj and Sahiwal cattle in their home tracts. So this is important that under network project of buffalo improvement, Nil, Ravi, Badavari and Swamp breed centers are functioning as conservation and improvement units, whereas Jafarabadi, Pantarpuri and Surti breed centers are concentrating on field progeny testing and maintaining the allied herd for bull production and breedable herd of 567. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ബഫലോ ഇംപ്രൂവ്മെൻറ്റ് ഈ പേരുകളൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഓർത്ത് വെച്ചിരുന്നാൽ എക്സാംസിന് ജസ്റ്റ് കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഫൈൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ആൻഡ് അതായത് ലീ, രവി, ബദാവരി ആൻഡ് സ്വാം ബ്രീഡ് സെൻറ്റേഴ്സ് ഇതൊക്കെ ഫങ്ഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അവരുടെ കൺസർവേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടും യൂണിറ്റ്സ് ഇംപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യാനും വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. അതുപോലെ ജഫർബാഡി, ഭാന്തർപൂരി, സുർത്തി ബ്രീഡ് സെൻറ്റേഴ്സൊക്കെ ഫീൽഡ് പ്രോജനി ടെസ്റ്റിങ്ങിനാണ് കോൺസെൻട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ഫോർ ബുൾ പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ആൻഡ് ബ്രീഡബിൾ ഹേർഡ് ഓഫ് 567. നെക്സ്റ്റ്, ദ All India Coordinated Research Project AICRP on GOT improvement covered 13 tribal villages and contributed for a better livelihood security for tribal people, as GOTs are major source of income to poor people in tribal areas of northeastern hill region. Under AICRP on poultry breeding, all the 12 centers are working on development of location specific rural chicken varieties. It's not important. Next is crop management, animal husbandry, dairying, fisheries, livestock production. It includes milk production, egg production, wool production, meat production, fisheries production, and also livestock mission include livestock health, livestock census, Indian fisheries. These comes under livestock mission. Next is animal husbandry, dairying and fisheries. These activities along with agriculture continue to be an integral part of human life. So it's just a readable concepts, because this section is not explaining about any government schemes. It's just mentioning the facts of animal husbandry, dairying and fisheries of India 2020. So I'm just reading it. Next, these activities along with agriculture continue to be an integral part of human life. So you all know that animal husbandry and dairying and fisheries are the integral part of human life. It is the basic needs for humans' day-to-day life, like milk products. Since the process of civilization started, these activities have contributed not only to the food basket and drought animal power but also maintaining ecological balance. Owing to conducive climate and topography, animal husbandry, dairying and fishery sectors have played a prominent socio-economic role in India. Traditional cultural and religious beliefs have also contributed in the continuance of these activities. They further also play a significant role in generating gainful employment in rural sector, particularly among the landless, small and marginal farmers and women, besides providing cheap and nutritious food to millions of people. So it is not only helping for the basic needs, it also helping for gaining many employment opportunities for many people. Livestock production and agriculture are intrinsically linked, each being dependent on other. So it is one of the important point that livestock production and agriculture are linked. They are depending on each other and both crucial for all our food security. And livestock is livestock sector is an important subsector of the agriculture of an Indian economy. That's the point. It forms an important livelihood activities for most of the farmers, supporting agriculture in the form of critical inputs, contributing to the health and nutrition of the household, supplementing incomes, offering employment opportunities, and finally being a dependable bank on hooves in times of need. So they just how it is connecting to normal human being lives, right? So there is nothing important to note down for the exam point of view. Still I am reading it. It acts as a supplementary and complementary enterprise. India has vast resource of livestock and poultry which play a vital role in improving the socio-economic conditions of rural masses. There are about 300 billion bovines, 65.07 million sheep, 135.2 million goats, and about 10.3 million pigs as per 19th livestock census in the country. Next is livestock production. It is also linked with agriculture and crucial for overall food security. According to CSO, that is a Central Statistics Office estimate, the value of output livestock sector at current prices was about 5,91,691 crore during 15-16, which is about 28.5% of the value of output from agriculture and allied sector. So we should note down that according to CSO, the value of that the output we are getting from the livestock production, right, at current prices was about 5 lakh 91, that is almost approximately 6 lakh crore, that is which is also equal to 28.5, that is 29% of the value of output from agriculture and its allied sector. And what about the constant prices? The constant prices, the value of at the constant prices, the value of output from livestock is about 29% of the value of the output from the total agriculture and allied sector. So differences between constant prices and current prices I mentioned and I explained in the economic classes. You can go for that. And so current prices 28.5 ആണെങ്കിൽ constant prices 29% ആണ്. uh, and also India continues to be the largest producer of milk in the world. Okay, and that's it. Next is milk production. So as it suggests that it is the largest producer of milk. The milk production during 1617 and 1718 was 165.4 million tons and 176.3 million tons respectively. ഇപ്പോൾ 1617 165 1718 173 showing an annual growth of 6.62%. The per capita availability of milk was around 375 grams per day in 2017-18. Next, egg production. That is, poultry production has taken a quantum leap in the last 4 decades. That's the first thing. Next is egg production at the end of the 10th plan was 50.70 billion as compared to 66.45 billion at the end of 11th plan. And just remember the current total poultry production, that is 729.21 million. That's it. That is total poultry production, and egg production was 88.14 billion during 1617, and the per capita availability was around 74 eggs per annum. Next is wool production. It declined marginally at the end of 11th 5-year plan to 44.7 million kilogram from 45 at the end of 10th. So 44 is of 11th 5-year plan and 45 is of 10th 5-year plan, and beginning of 12th plan it was 46.05 million kilo, and it increased to 48 in 14-15 but declined to 43 in 16-17. So we can say that the production has shown negative growth. Next is meat production. It is from 2.3 million tons at end of 10th 5-year plan to 5.5 million tons at the end of 11th 5-year plan. And the meat production at the beginning of the 12th was 5.95, which further increased to 7.7 tons in 17-18. Next is fisheries production. It is the India exported rupees 13,77,244 tons fishes and fisheries products worth 45,106.89 crore. Just remember that. And also the coastline is about 8,118 kilometers apart from the inland water resources. So here it has the vast potential for fisheries. Next is national livestock production. I'm sorry, it is National Livestock Mission. I will take it in the next video. Thank you.